I am starting.
All right.
Welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Oops. Last time we were dealing with unhelpful people. Today we're going to deal with a different brand of unhelpful people. I need to find where I put something.
You're not talking about Silent Hill's unhelpful guide, are you?
Not intentionally, but now I am.
You remember the stun gun.
I do remember the stun gun. I haven't forgotten the stun gun.
Uh-huh. Oh, boy. That was just so chaotic.
Out. You see everything?
Yep.
Dude, I can't believe it, Adrian. No way. Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews.
Well, she is your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her.
So after the ceremony during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time.
See, she could have also easily planned that blood-covered button on your hakama.
Because she was the one that came to wake me up. And dude, you're saying really was her?
Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Carita. No, she's not.
But why? I thought she was buds with Juan.
Did you forget how to voice him again?
He's supposed to be like, a sort of dim-witted actor guy, right? So I'm sure
Yeah. You've changed his voice like 3 times so far. And each time it's with the next version, like, next time we've played the game. So next time we play the game, I expect a 4th version of his voice.
I mean, I might do a 4th version of his voice. I don't know how long this is going to take. To be fair, we're doing it in like 2-week increments, and also I have other things I'm voicing in.
True.
Not like professional, but also as in I'm reading other things.
I get it. She has her own agenda.
Her own agenda?
I don't think she's really the murderer, but she's the person we're going to blame it on for now so that we don't get you arrested, okay?
What are you talking about? I'm pretty sure she's this, bruh.
She what?
Agenda.
No, that's also like kind of why I feel like he'd say that regardless. Because it's like he's talking about making it so that she is the prime suspect so that he doesn't get killed. And he's just like, no, she's sis, bruh. What? it definitely fits. I'm sure
I wasn't sure if you heard me, sorry. That's why I was clear.
No. It just came out of left field, so I feel like Phoenix was just like, what are you talking about?
You said she's agenda.
Judge, I'd like to change our verdict.
Why are you staring at me like that, bruh?
Judge, can we end the trial here? I'm willing to hand him over. I'm willing to do it.
Won't your friend be killed?
Worth it. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of the day.
Give me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lower Dude? Just like today's sponsor. We don't have
No.
one. I've been told I'm not supposed to say that anymore.
You're not, especially since, like, you're in court. I don't think we could do a sponsored court, actually. You know, I realize that could be a thing at some point.
The dark futures that sci-fi writers never thought of.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Mostly because it's too dark for them.
I mean, Make Room was kind of dark, even if it was never going to happen.
Yeah, but at the same time, a justice system so financially burdened that it has to, like, buy advertisements. That'd be fucked up.
You think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right?
Yes. Miss Andrews is dependent on Miss Impacts as her strength and reason to live. But then Miss Impact suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note and the person not to have hidden it. That's you, not me.
Is one Krita the victim of this murder? You gotta wonder if he gets like a free like start, or that one's plastic.
I don't know. Like, he may just like pull. Like, he may get a new rose every so often. Like, he might have a rose like.
I think that's rose. I think that's just a grass stalk.
Oh, but didn't he have like a rose in the image?
I think it was just a grass stalk. Let me see if I can find the picture again.
I don't know if we're gonna see the image of him over the or about the thing. So yeah, I don't think that's gonna be a thing.
We will.
Yeah, he has a like. If you look at the crime photo, he's got a bunch of rose. He has a rose vase. It's just like smashed on the floor. I'll have to get the suicide note back.
That sounds plausible. One thing bothers me.
What?
What was that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Mr. Andrews' dependency issues. Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regard to Miss Impacts.
Wasn't that Edgeworth? Yeah, it was Edgeworth. Shit.
It's like he's still the one in command of the ship. Don't let your guard down yet.
Again, I feel like this particular court case is the one that's like the best reasoning to have a Phoenix Wright and Edgeworth detective case at some point. Like, do an alternate universe thing. Have them be detectives together. It would be amazing. They work really well.
It's for fan gamers, I think.
Maybe, but still, like, you could even have Maya in there. Like, you would not need to change anything. Have Detective Gumshoe be their contact in the police force. Just like, you wouldn't have to alter much.
That's you.
Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please.
He's just lifting a keg onto a stand.
Give me a moment. It's like a thunk. The entire courtroom bounces as he drops it.
The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Miss Juan Cornita's room. What is your occupation? Oh, is that you or me? I can't remember.
I think that was you, because I think I'm doing the murderer.
No, I'm Oh.
No, I'm doing To Killer. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. I'm doing To Killer. The prior court case, I handled most of the witness because that was, or like most of the conversation because it was Old Bag, Gumshoe, Phoenix, the judge. You mostly handled the prosecutors last time.
The manager of the defendant of this case, Mr. Martin Card.
I see. Now then.
Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request.
Yes. Sure. What is it?
I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing. I would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently.
Oh, no, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossipland. That pause is a little... If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me.
Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relationship to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Cordelia. I was also aware of the rivalry that exists between Matt and Juan. That was a private matter between Juan and myself.
So it was a fry and bait matter. Or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing.
What the hell are you talking about, Judge?
Look, I'd rather be anywhere but here.
That was out of character. I legitimately don't know what he's talking about.
I know, and I gave an in-character response.
But I
based on our canon of them.
But I didn't kill him. No one's accusing you of that. You're someone who would beg to differ.
I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews.
Very well then. Witness, please testify to the court. Sorry, the teleprompter lagged. About what happened when you discovered the murder had taken place.
It just lags. There's just like a pop-up of, I don't get paid enough for this. Oh.
It's time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room. There's the dead body. I was in shock.
You good there? What happened?
Oh, I was just fixing something.
Okay, that was a long pause.
When I saw what was naturally the crime scene, as in the crime scene photo, I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
You poured yourself a glass of juice.
Was it from the Gave plant?
The judge is just sitting there like, you've just admitted to tampering with a crime scene.
A sober judge wouldn't let it pass, let alone a drunk one.
I'm pretty sure this is perjury.
Well, as we established, perjury is not a crime in the Ace Attorney universe.
However, tampering with the crime scene still is. This is an admission on the witness stand. Well, shit. Edgeworth, take her away.
Yes, sadly I didn't remember not to touch the things at the crime scene. And it says disturb the crime scene by moving this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints of the wine grass were made, Your Honor.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Teleprompter. Phoenix.
You know, I know what it is. It's loading up the image, the like scene, and that's what's causing delay. Like the first time that you load up a scene, that's what causes it.
She's one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match.
Yeah, I know.
Are you flirting with her on my behalf, or what?
No, I don't think she is. I think she's just.
In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing. Stab her.
Wait, Maya?
That was a long pause. I don't know if you're laughing or weren't sure what I just said.
I was processing. Like, I was thinking about, like, okay, so we probably don't want to push her on things. We probably don't want to object too much. And stab her? Like, I was in my thought process of what to do here, and she just throws out stabbing.
It would disrupt her pacing of her heart, but it works.
Your friends list popped up.
My friends list popped up.
Yeah, somebody's playing Slime Rancher too. You forgot to set that to not show.
And I set a top line. I'm mostly on invisible.
No, what you can do is you can go to like friends. You can go to I think it's like underneath settings for the interface or something like that. I can show you how to get rid of that later, so you don't have to go offline. It helps out a lot.
Yeah, it's a habit I had back when I was an admin. It's just I'm on invisible. I'll just answer calls when needed, but it won't constantly. People won't know I'm online. If I don't want to be actively bothered.
Oh no, this is more just for streaming because like some games require you to be online in some capacity, so it's just like when you're in game, you could set it up so that your friends list doesn't randomly pop up at the most inopportune of moments, which is something I know happens to literally everyone, and I have to laugh at it when I see it pop up in like somebody else's video, and it's just like, it's good to know that person's playing a game.
Speaking of which, Fantasy's been playing a lot of Terraria, and I'm pretty sure she's playing modded versions. So I keep wanting to go, hey, Fantasy, what you doing? It's none of my business, but I just want to know. You know, one time we were all playing Terraria, and you just didn't want to properly join. Not being mean about it, just want to know the sudden urge. But it won't, because even as saying out loud, I sound like a dickhead. She's the type of woman who's easily thrown out by things inconsistent with her thinking. Quite frankly, she does. She thinks in black and white with little gray or flexibility.
I'm surrounded by murderers. I am surrounded by murderers.
The judge, I take offense to that.
The judge.
Everyone I face has died a natural cause.
Judge, I swear to God, if you say that their hearts, that you shot them so naturally they died, I'm going to be upset.
Turbo cancer, Mr. Wright. I'm not a barbarian.
Turbo cancer? What?
We established he's a life mage, and that just sounds like something a life mage can do.
I mean, yes, but also just turbo cancer.
It's all of them at once, and it's in a matter of minutes.
Oh gosh.
She'll attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your fence is the instant this trial is over. Understand? I think it's weirdly laggy on this computer. It's not that it wasn't laggy at all, like this on the other one.
Maybe, yeah.
I just don't know the cause of it. This statement needs to be pressed to make things easier, so that's why I'm doing it.
Alright. You were in shock?
What? Was it not supposed to be?
Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Garita.
Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked.
Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not.
There used to be a black belt, Mr. Wright.
Okay, what does being beautiful have to do with that, Edgeworth?
That is a that is a completely out of context joke that I would have to explain now because I don't think you get it.
Probably not.
In Pokemon, black belts are always male.
Oh.
And there is literally it goes, technology is incredible, beauty, which is another Pokemon trainer class goes, technology is incredible, I used to be a black belt. And then that got changed later. But it's still one of the things of, yeah, no, that's, with the way you worded it, unless, I don't know. Pokemon rules are weird.
There's something extra funny about that one, I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, man.
Pokemon classes are hilarious. Like for trainers, I mean.
Uh-huh. Oh my god.
I know there's been at least 3 that are no longer in circulation.
I think so. I'm not sure what the full reasoning is, but I do know that like a couple of them got changed down and such.
I think a couple of them got changed because they were like gamblers and stuff, but I think another one just they stopped using it.
Yeah, I think that might just be the case. Some of them just, if you can't fit it in, you know. See.
There's only a way, if there was only a multiplayer Pokemon game we could play together, then...
There's like a couple that have co-op in some way, shape, or form. Like there was Hello Pikachu or whatever it was, the one on the Switch, where you had a Pikachu with you and everything. That one actually did have co-op, where like you could do dual battles where you'd pull out 2 of your Pokemon at once for things, which is kind of nice. But there's not really like a major co-op Pokemon. There is a Minecraft Pokemon thing though. That's an interesting thing.
I was thinking more of like a ROM hack.
Oh yeah. God, that would actually be really interesting now that I think about it. Just like a fully co-op Pokemon game.
Each of you have 3 Pokemon, but you work as a team.
Yeah, or like you have to split up in order to solve puzzles.
I'd play it. That might actually get me back into Pokemon.
Yeah, no joke. Like, imagine a situation of like you have to split up the team to go and solve something, and you have to get into Pokemon battles. So like your 3 Pokemon against another 3 Pokemon on each side, so you're both battling at the same time.
Nintendo, hire us or don't hire us. Just steal our ideas and still be trying to use it.
Listen, I'd be fine if they stole the idea. I'm fine with that. Pokemon needs some like innovation when it comes to stuff like that. The formula is a little. I think they need to stop adding Pokemon. They need to start changing up how the game plays.
feel Apocalypse like came up like sort of a very good sort of like mix on the forum area where like the whole bad trainer Pokemon, the whole bad team, whatever. You're not the only one working against them, which like yeah, I would like that. It's weird that we keep sending 10-year-olds to stop bad guys.
Yeah, like I would not mind. There was something similar to that back in Ruby and Sapphire. So Ruby and Sapphire basically had it that whichever cartridge you had changed who the villain was, and you were working with the other side to protect something. So it was like if you played Ruby, the team you went up against Team Aqua, whose whole goal was to expand the water in the world so that water Pokemon had more space to live because humans were damaging the water systems.
You're flipping it. Ruby, you fought
Is that
Team
is that it?
Magma. Team Sapphires where you fought Team Aqua.
It's been a while since I played them. It's been years, but you get my point. And then you would work with the other team to protect the thing that was being attacked.
And then everyone came along where both of them are idiots, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, which it makes sense to a degree. I do find that hilarious that just like both of you are idiots. Stop it.
It will happen naturally.
Yeah. The main thing though was just like that does have you working with somebody to stop the villains, which is nice. And like you'll see them fighting each other on multiple occasions. So that's a really good touch of just like, you're seeing these Pokemon battles in the field while you're trying to like push past everybody and get up to the final boss of that area. They need to do more stuff like that, I think. That was a really nice touch. They just don't do that
They
often.
need to do more stuff like that, and they need to make it feel like the world is not on the 10-year-old shoulders.
Yeah. He's just kind of... He is the lucky kid that was in the right place at the right time. He doesn't need to feel like he's the only one doing something. Anyway.
We need to press on one
So-
of these.
Right. I mean, like, I don't know, like, there is definitely a question of, like, why did she pour herself a glass of juice? Phoenix, you're just asking a question. Calm down. Juice?
Yes, there's a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself.
But you didn't drink any of it, did you? There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it.
I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it.
Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Carita, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct?
And what of it? My mind was a complete blank at the time.
Your mind was complete blank. I didn't think that was possible for you.
Well, that was rude. Women can be stupid too. Damn it, she's right. Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed I made one careless mistake. That's one thing.
What one thing?
Never mind. It's no big deal.
What was she starting to say just now? Is this where you followed me as advice and let her be? Because that feels like what it's setting us up for.
No, she said to keep attacking.
Okay. Alright, disruptor pacing. Miss Andrews. I'm convinced, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was.
Actually, so would I. I'm sorry. It's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over.
A flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor on the crime photo? That does change the crime a bit.
No. You sure it changes the crime? Because pay attention.
No, it does, because it changes an aspect of the crime.
Explain?
The guitar case.
Yes.
It's usually on top of the dresser.
It was originally on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Why did we hold such an important piece of... Why is every witness I meet do this? Why did you hold such an important piece of information?
Phoenix, from now on, you're handling the witnesses. I'm tired of this shit.
Miles Edward Truge's death in Tahiti.
Edgeworth just pops over to the other side next to Phoenix. I'm your assistant now. Fuck it. We're partners, okay?
Romantically at work.
Honestly, those two being on the same side would be devastating to the law system.
They technically are.
Yeah. I mean, on the same side as in both defense attorneys.
Ah.
Just think about that duo. Think about how powerful that would be.
I probably read that fan fiction.
Yep.
I read one where Phoenix Wright defended random characters from Super Smash Brothers. I've read a lot of weird stuff. I'm sorry. I thought since the crime was already in disarray, that people would assume the same was just another part of the mess.
It looks like yet another fact is going to delay you. Please add this to anything else you have to reveal to your testimony.
I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else.
Edgeworth. Edgeworth's just even I don't buy that bullshit.
This is the cutaway, and he's back, and he's in Hawaiian clothes. A touristy, he's in a tourist Hawaiian shirt. He's smoking from a coconut, he has a straw hat, he still looks grumpy. Present the guitar case or the crime scene photo.
Yeah, I think we need to pull up the guitar case, don't we? It's either one of those two you have to present.
Yep. Just was stuck for some reason.
You testified that you knocked the flower vase over, is this correct?
Yes.
And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case?
Is there some problem with what I said?
It's not some problem, it's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside.
This is just how physics work.
That's very true.
We double check to make sure that cases aren't magic fuckery. We have a different system for that. I don't work there. God, could you imagine if in a broken masquerade scenario, there are two different courthouses depending on what the crime was caused by?
Oh dear God, yeah.
Oh no, see that was your crime was caused by mage fuckery. You have to go to this one. Are you okay?
No, I'm good. I'm just distracted by somebody. You know how it is. I keep getting pings. One of the streamers I follow is having OBS issues, and OBS keeps crashing, then rebooting.
I've never had that problem, but that does sound like the son of a bitch.
That's one thing. She also has a bot that posts whenever she goes live.
Oh yeah, I've done a different channel.
So it's been spamming go live messages every so often because her OBS will die, reset, and then boot back up again and start the stream over again. So over the span of like, let me see here, of like about half an hour, there are 4 different posts of this person has gone live with the same title, the same like different thumbnails. It crashed 3 times before the stream technically even started fully. So I'm a bit distracted by that. That's all that's going on. So, like, that's what's happening. Furthermore, there's one other strange thing about this guitar case. What is that? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. I like to think that delay is them getting into the projector.
Yeah. Might as well be with all the weird lag. It only happens now.
Yep. The remains of the base are scattered on the floor. And what's wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shard should be inside, not outside the case.
What is your point, right? That case was closed the time the vase was knocked over. That the case was closed the time the vase was knocked over. Is that all? Objection!
No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to.
I'm trying not
She said
to.
that. I understand, Edgeworth. We'll get through this. She said that other than the face, she didn't touch anything else. Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case.
Objection! The whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The Brightwood guitar was found in the studio. It had no bearing on this case at all.
That may very well be. However, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this. It does! It has a big relation to the case. Okay.
To be fair, Phoenix is panicked. Phoenix's mind is probably distracted by Maya and trying to get this done in a day.
I thought you were going to say Mia. I mean, given her outfit.
Oh, yes, but also he has to make sure this case is the case gets met off today, and it can't extend as far as he knows.
Like, let's just like not continue for a quick second and like just point that out. Look, Phoenix's whole situation here is basically you are in the middle of a court trial for a murder case that involves multiple actors. This is a high-profile case. Edgeworth has just come out of retirement to work against you. You've been dealing with Von Karma, who got shot during this case. Detective Gumshoe is being fired. Maya has been kidnapped, and her kidnapper is ransoming the court case's victory for her release. And on top of all that, you've got a small child next to you possessed by your dead boss.
Dead boss, what feels like occasional crush.
Yeah. Phoenix is like in hell right now.
He needed that whole weird break scenario in the fourth game.
Yeah.
Sure, he no longer works for the Justice Department, but also he no longer works for the Justice Department.
Oh, gosh. I think I said that already. Because that was why I was like, Phoenix, it has a big relation to the case. I guess to explain why I say that, this is something that we go over a lot with a lot of these cases, which is manipulation of evidence. Phoenix's point here is that the guitar case does have some meaning, and it feels like people are kind of forgetting about it. Sure, the guitar itself was found at the studio, but that raises the question of like, why was the guitar case there? Why was the guitar case open? Why was the guitar case empty? Why was it changed from being a closed guitar case when Andrews was in the room to an open guitar case? These are questions that like should be asked, because it could lead to further questions of like, is there somebody else that walked into the room after Andrews? Did Old Bag miss something because she was in such a hurry to report the person that walked out of the room? Like, it could really easily raise further questions that require answering that would change the course of the case. As for the judge, however, it seems that there was no different meaning to the guitar case. But Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case? Yeah, we need to make her testify, because this is actually kind of important. Right?
Right.
The empty guitar case.
They wouldn't let us bring it up if it wasn't important.
Exactly.
This isn't Danganronpa.
Or a trap. Don't forget that.
Fair enough, yeah.
I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle.
I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this. But it is you, handsome devil.
I can't believe they're doing this either. Not now, it's right. Alright, I'll follow along. For now.
The idea of Edward actively flirting with Wright just to trip him off amuses me.
Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case.
Yes, Your Honor. I remember too clearly because I'm a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal, though, right? The case was empty after all. Why I opened the case? I mean, I don't know.
Looks like this really wasn't a very important point.
This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling now that it's almost comforting.
Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination. Also, Edgeworth, you should know what happens every time that you start feeling that wastefulness. Usually something bad happens to one of us.
Using anyway to change the topic. A convenient escape for a weak man.
Edgeworth? You're about to be demolished.
I can't hear you. This is very easy. You need to use a guitar case on 3 of the 4 statements.
It's just like on 3 different statements? Jeez.
No, just use it one on 3 different statements. Use one of them and I will do it.
How many statements does she have?
4.
What? Okay, I guess you just have to use the guitar case itself, that's it?
Yes. You have to present it.
I guess we just present it here, sure. I don't know, like... This feels a little too easy.
It's because
There's
she's
no way... Oh, go ahead.
Be fair, it's because she's badly lying.
I know. There's no way you were the one who opened the guitar case.
Why would you say that?
It's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim. What is it, Miss Andrews?
I didn't assume that it must have looked French just because I touched the case.
What do you mean?
Whatever would tell you I was wearing gloves at the time. You have prints on your wine glass.
Lady, do not make me present the wine glass to you. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, gloves. But why would you be wearing gloves at the time?
It's the night of the award ceremony, so of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I was almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves.
I see. Judge. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves to sustain the crime. Yeah, that's strange.
Look, I've been checking in and out of this whole court case.
Like, he's off screen, we just hear...
I don't even think he's drinking. I think he's like actually looking at his phone. Oh,
did we say he's running a
meeting
keg?
Another Cabal meeting today. How fun!
Oh, joy! You were wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange?
Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? Do you have something that would prove I'm making shit up? Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm gonna keep calling you bullshit. It's what I do.
Take that!
I have your proof right here. This wine glass.
The wine glass?
You left fingerprints on it. We were just talking about this. You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. He seems like he's so smug for just having a basic memory. Like, I think that's the funniest part of this to me, is just like, he's acting so smug when he, like, has just proven he has object permanence.
I remember when people tell me things, Miss Andrews. The learned skill.
Apparently it's one that we don't teach that much these days. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured this glass of juice. Still appropriate. Wouldn't you think it was just a little strange that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case?
It's OCD. I don't question how it manifests.
If you have OCD, all the more so. You would not want to touch the wine glass without gloves.
Sometimes it manifests in like weird habits.
True, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. I don't know. Like, it feels like that would still.
I think it's a
like,
spectrum.
regardless. Yeah, it probably is a spectrum.
Like sometimes it's germophobic. Sometimes you need to do and I hate to say, you need to do a inane little task in order for the world not to explode.
No, you're right on that. Yeah. Sometimes it is also just like a habit of having to wash your hands because your body doesn't feel right. That kind of thing.
I don't remember. I think it was like from a fan fiction, but basically, like two people were fighting, and the other person was later found tearing like a shirt into like 13 pieces so they wouldn't kill each other, and the person basically going, "That's a concern. That's not how that works, but that's a concern."
Yeah, it's a concern. Unfortunately, it's a concern that, for me, works.
I think the person in question didn't know they had OCD, which is why it was a concern.
Ah, I see. Order, order, order.
Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time.
What do you mean?
I'm not paying attention to this case either, Mia. I don't think anyone is.
I think the judge checked out an hour ago.
I believe the guitar case plays a very important part here.
But it's just an empty case.
I wonder if it really was empty, though.
Yeah, that's the critical thing. It wasn't. But the guitar, the bright red guitar, was at the studio.
Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. Is that that's what's pronounced?
Presumptions.
What was in the guitar case? What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar.
You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either. Man, this concussion is killing me.
You're lucky I drew like some dumb.
I wasn't always this dumb. I just took a hit from a fire extinguisher and multiple concussions from Von Karma. He did have that amnesia episode after all. Both from the first court case and then from Von Karma.
I'm not disagreeing, I just think it's hilarious.
Yeah. Again, he really should probably be getting checked. I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So, the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case.
Objection! Your Honor, this is obviously a defense unusual misdirection tactics that work. Steer the course towards an unrelated topic and lure us all into his misguided...
Objection!
No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. Oh, I know why she looked into it, at least. Like, one reason that she might have had, but... which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I am sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. Especially considering, like, he walked in without a guitar, and, like, nobody gave a shit.
You're so sure, right? And I'm sure you can somehow sustain your outrageous claims, correct?
I mean, I believe we can, but... Oh, yeah. I mean... He was strangled, right? He wasn't stabbed.
Please, enlighten us as to why this card case has anything at all to do with this murder.
Right, will do. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well... Alright, time for my usual panic attack.
Time for bullshit, time for secret rights, family technique. Bullshit until it works. This technique has been passed down to my family for generations. I mean,
When you run out of options, this is the only thing you can rely on. But whether or not you succeed depends on yourself. Right.
You're making a JoJo reference. I'm making a Ghost Trick reference.
I think, like, all of it is a reference to each other at this point. That is one of the most hilarious things, though. It can kind of work for both.
Suppose first. That's you. Sorry. Wasn't intentional.
Let's suppose for a second. It's all right. Let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case. The bright red guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean to suggest that, right, but...
So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty?
Edgeworth, that was completely unnecessary.
I love the fact that strange minds are thinking alike here.
Yeah, I like that Edgeworth had to cut in. Because he knew where this was going.
This is getting too silly.
We need to get it back on track. I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove.
Again. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have at it. What was inside the case at the time of the movie?
Before we select the object, can I just, like, have Phoenix look at him and just go, Edgeworth, I've proved that 2 of your witnesses are a liar, that there's a third person involved in the case, and that the supposed witness to my client walking out of the room saw a guy in a costume and did the exact same thing she did 3 years ago. What do you mean I haven't proved shit?
To be fair, shut up.
You're still in shock from Wolfpack, aren't you?
The restraining order says that any testimony from her has to be from another room.
This is a photograph. Look at this. I love these. Yes, but what is important is what is in that picture, Your Honor. In this picture? It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I am proposing is... Maybe made the thing. Inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume.
It's catchy.
It is catchy.
What?
Calm down, right? Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
I don't wanna. You know what? I just wanna win. Right, are you saying that the witness opened the garden safe to take out a costume? What insane point there would be to do something like that?
That insane point would be to wear wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she couldn't make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews?
I refuse to accept your theory. You have supports as a preposterous idea.
I refuse it on principle, right?
You are
No.
just bullshitting now.
Fuck you, right? Every time we do this. I will not let it happen again, damn it. You can't keep getting away with this.
Every lawyer in Phoenix Wright gets like some sort of gimmick, and Phoenix is the one who can bullshit anything can result.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, he never used Magatama in court, so as far as I'm concerned, that's canon.
Yeah, he really should be using that in court, shouldn't he?
Every now and then says something like you can tell, like allows you to tell like a tell or something from another person. If you're just like, I'm just going to throw shit at the wall and use what sticks. It keeps working. Sorry, can I just say this line because I want to change a bit?
Sure, go ahead.
Just outside the door was a terrible person who was starving for a big scoop.
Just outside the door was a terrible tabloid reporter looking for a scoop.
Just outside the door was this bitch.
Need I say more? And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct? You mean this photo? Order! It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we?
Nice job, Phoenix.
Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later.
You're every barge.
Speak first, consequences later.
I can't get arrested if I don't know where I'm going with this.
Exactly. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume.
Objection!
Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The necklace in my costume would have been Mr. Matanga's. What's something of the defendant in the victim's room? Inside the guitar clip case of all places.
True. Yeah, it is a little baffling that way. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was the Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case?
You can choose which one. Both, one of them will do damage, but it's supposed to be hilarious. But
I mean, I feel like it was this.
you just feel like what?
I'm not so sure that it was a spare costume, actually. I don't know if that's actually the correct one.
Okay.
Because I feel like...
Even though
I feel
Matt
like-
was sleeping in it, his costume.
Oh, sorry. I thought I got the people mixed up. It's fair. And Mr. Angar did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we are talking about was a spare one. But then, oh, you're saying that on the night of the murder? There were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the K-Water Hotel? Yes, that is what I'm saying.
Phoenix's ears constantly make me keep thinking he has earplugs in them.
I understand why. And how do you explain the costume was inside the guitar case?
I mean, the victim himself had brought the spare to the ceremony. Would mean the victim himself had brought the spare to the ceremony on purpose. I could tell I was losing it. I just started it all over again.
I just imagine Edgeworth like speaking like that, and Phoenix is just like Edgeworth. Edgeworth,
I'm so tired, right? My vacation was not long enough, right? I forgot about this.
I forgot why I left in the first place. Oh, she passed it. The victim, Mr. Kurita, was the Jamin Ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai's spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act? And therein lies the sticking point. No, I mean, I think I've got an idea of why. But...
What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue?
Huh? No, I just... Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. And why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai's spare costume?
Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? No. I think I talked myself into a corner.
I mean, thankfully, we aren't Phoenix, and yes, we can.
Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you.
Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai's spare costume to the hotel was... It's the note. It's the confession.
It is not that. It's this.
Oh, really? What?
Because, Matt said he had no, recollection of this.
No.
What?
Seems like the Nickel Samurai is to confess something after the post-ceremony stage show.
Oh, that's not proper grammar, is
it? I had said it was the confession.
Sorry, I thought you meant like the suicide note.
No!
Look,
that's not a confession. That's an explanation.
I'm sorry, man.
It's okay. Here you are telling me no, and then you're pointing at the thing proving me right.
It's not that, it's this.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant. Oh. What is this? On the night of the murder after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference.
I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up right.
But what struck me as strange was that Mr. Ungard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. But how could that be? The way I see it, that can only mean one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Kurita himself.
That's you.
The victim? Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Greer was going to hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai.
Wouldn't they notice he doesn't sound the same?
Given the mask, they might not actually know. If it was like a simple, like mouth covering mask, maybe, but he would have had a full facial mask on, which would have altered his voice a good bit. There would have been like some speech changes, but it might have been enough that people didn't notice it at the time, especially coming through a microphone. He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference.
Man, that plan might be ruined if Matt was like seen elsewhere.
Yeah, although Matt was also sleeping at the time.
Matt takes a nap. Matt wanders out of the Everyone sees him get up. Like the meeting happens, everyone sees him get up. Matt wanders out of the hotel room for some reason, and now there's like 2 evidence of an imposter.
Yep. It's like this is why the guitar case is so suspicious, because Matt, or like Karina having the guitar case with no guitar wouldn't make any sense. Why would you bring an empty guitar case? And this is a big part of his costume. It would have been checked before he left. The only reason it was empty is if he had something else inside of it.
I'm just saying this whole plan like hinges on Matt being asleep, and for all we know, Matt will wake up early.
I mean, it's Matt. The guy. I can't argue that he might not wake up early. He's. Oh boy. I'm glad that we haven't let him take the witness stand. Let's just say that.
Do you imagine interrogating Matt where he talks about, excuse me, I need to go talk to my my manager.
I need to go talk to my publicist again. I need to go talk to this person again.
I need to talk to my director. No, stop, you're here. Don't talk to other people.
Exactly. It's just like, Matt, get back here. Get back here, Matt. He'd do that too, is the thing. He would totally do something like that. Anyways. I think I've already said that line, so you can move forward, yep. But why would the victim do such a thing?
He's a dickhead. Alright. Fair enough.
He's been in a fight with the guy for years.
They're both dickheads.
Yeah. Pretty much. Anyways, I already said why the victim would do such a thing. Go ahead.
I know, I'm blowing my the walkthrough up again.
Ah, yeah. That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at the conference. The Nickel Samurai. Oh, that's you.
The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I wish he was going to reveal something about himself.
Which means that Juan Kurita, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt on guard. Yes, I guess that is what it would mean.
But if that's the case, that is not a confession. That is public discourse.
Disclosure.
Oh, public disclose.
Disclosure.
I just realized that's how the word is spelled.
What?
Disclosure.
Yeah, disclosure.
I thought it was longer.
No.
Look, man, I may speak the language, but God, am I dumb in it.
That the way you said that is actually even funnier because that is also not the right way you would say that you're bad at it.
It's a layered joke. An insult. It's a layered joke and insult.
Yep. To thyself.
Hmm.
Anyway. Miss Andrews.
Let's see where you're pros at what you do.
Pardon me?
Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan.
Miss Andrews, please offer an explanation for us.
No.
What? The silence after that.
I was the one who helped set him up. I was the one he asked to help set it up. Sorry, I misread that.
Mhm.
I caught myself this time.
It's okay. I have seen people lately do far worse when it comes to speaking than you. So much worse.
The person who's prepared the second costume for him, that was also me.
You?
Jammin had bet everything on the jam. Juan had bet everything. I was basically reading the second line by accident.
Jammin set up everything for Jammin.
He starts suffering from a stroke. Juan had
This
bet
court case has been delayed.
No, we don't want that! Juan had bet everything on the Gemma Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway. I'll be 100% honest, it's only recently I realized it's not pronounced Grand Prix, because the accents there I figured would be pronounced.
Nope, it's pre.
And by recent I mean like in the last few years, but as a kid I was like, oh, it's Pricks, like Tricks, like the cereal.
Which does raise the question of, should we then change the name of Tricks to Tree?
Tree is for kids, doesn't have the same ring.
I know, it doesn't. It's also technically not how you would say that. I think Pricks is the technically correct way to say it, but we say pre instead because the English language has no rules.
The English language steals from other languages via grave robbing.
Yeah, very much so.
My English and drama teacher from high school, same guy, basically had two things for the English language. Number one, it steals from other languages in reference to the prophets. And number two, it's several different languages in a trench coat.
It is. Which I think is probably the larger reason of why English is more widespread than some other languages.
Sorry, Esperanto, you had your chance.
No, it's just that English takes from other languages, which inherently makes it easier for certain people to learn it. Like, we have French words in the language. It's easier for somebody that knows those words to study the rest of the English language since they have a standard to go by.
Yeah, I know. It's just. Did you learn The Alchemist in class?
The what?
Did you read The Alchemist in class?
No.
Oh.
Listen, you got to remember, I got an American education. It sucks.
I was also an American education.
Yeah. The fact that it's so different is why it sucks.
Oh, I only like spoil most of The Alchemist because it's a very much a massive journey and destination type story, but it mentioned Esperanto. It's like, huh, what's this? And my teacher Bishop goes, oh yes, before back in the day, this is what originally was supposed to be the global language, Esperanto, and then English happened, and this might have been college because my college teacher was kind of elitist at times.
Uh-huh.
I remember one time she told me that having my phone in my pocket would give me cancer, and that's not true.
Yeah, that was a big thing for a while. Just like everything giving people cancer.
It's like, I mean, yeah, that is true, but also like she was like, "Don't bring your phone to class; it will give you cancer." Like, I need my phone. This is how
Like,
I can't be not connected in case of an emergency, lady.
I think it was like also discovered that a lot of those cases that have been read by a lot of media groups were like blown out of proportion.
Yeah,
Where
just
it was like it was a study on whether or not it would give you cancer, and it was like it may do that. However, the results are so minuscule we can't tell.
it's cherry picking.
Exactly.
I did not. I had to take her twice for English because I didn't pass properly the first time around. And I at one point I was definitely thinking of, I do not like you, lady.
Yeah, I have dealt with some rough English teachers in my time. I've dealt with some rough teachers in general. It is impressive what can happen. I think in part just due to college being very rushed. They do not give you enough time to learn everything.
It's all tests and studying, and I'm terrible at tests and studying.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. The homework side of it is really not as important as people think it is.
Also, I think it was the college where I stapled my thumb. Just real quick off topic story. I was in math class and they had to sort of like do math, like they check their answer and go back. And I was waiting, and um, I was playing with a stapler because I was nervous about my answers and wasn't thinking. And my thought basically was, I'm not actually stapling this to like the metal bit because I didn't exactly know how stapler work. It'll be fine. And I pressed up against the metal bit, and then there's a shunk, and then a lot of pain, and then I had to go to the medical office. It was like, I'm fine. I had my tetanus shot, I believe, but
Uh huh.
on my thumb there's a very clear staple, and
I do find that very funny in a way because it's just like the other thing it makes me think of is basically just absent-minded thumb stapling. Had to have been written on some nurse's report of what happened.
I think they're mostly concerned. I
Um,
think a part of them was concerned that it was an act of self harm before I explained that. No, I'm just an idiot. I mean, it took me a bit to explain that because I was panicking because there was a staple in my thumb.
uh-huh.
Um, because I don't do pain well. That's
Yeah.
that's something I freely admit. I don't do pain well. If I get hurt, I become kind of a whiny bitch about it. But so you can understand where there is metal in my thumb that should not be in my thumb. You can understand that I wasn't in the state of like, oh, I can recover from this. This is fine. I was in full blown panic. I don't think it was a game day, but I definitely think I did tell you guys what was happening. Just like, hey, I stabled my thumb. Is there a game today? I'm probably not going to make it on the grounds that I'm at the school medical office.
I think I do recall you having to do that. That was a thing. Oh gosh. That was a while back though.
Yeah, I was in college. I was in
Years
college
ago.
in California to let those
Yeah,
who've been following my track. That's before I started streaming. For anyone who's wondering.
yeah, that is a long ways back. It was going to ruin it. Huh?
It looked like somehow Juan had his hands on secrets so powerful. That destroying Matt's acting career had been revealed.
What? And do you know what this secret of Mr. Ongar's is, Miss Andrews?
Something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is.
Hold on. I love that she like went through her notebook to see if she had the information. It's like, no, blackmailed on Matt, blackmailed on Matt, blackmailed on Matt, blackmail on Kurita, Kuriata, however you say his name. I don't have it in front of me. Ah, I see.
I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone. Yeah, no
Yes.
shit. But that is to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all. No, you haven't.
Protect Mr. Ongar. Bad time to take a bite of food. It's like a Chinese food sitting next to me. I've been resisting the temptation this whole time, and I thought, okay, it's fine to take a bite. It was not. And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could please tell us the truth about your behavior. I don't know why. Probably because you did the joke, but now I thought it's just her going, no.
I don't have to, actually. I can just leave.
Well, but if you leave, I'll declare you guilty.
Can you declaim Matt guilty first? Oh, well, if I must.
Wait, no.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand. The moment I saw the
Okay.
crime scene, I had the feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had killed Juan, had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, but none of the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt I had to protect him.
Hold up. No, Judge, stop. Every time. You know what? I get it. You want to get out of here as fast as possible. I understand. Court sucks. But come on, man. This does account for everything. Does it? Does it really?
It's another, we need to press on the statement before we can present evidence again.
Of course.
Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit. She's more nervous than Caleb in any given scenario.
Again, if Caleb tries to run, I am bowling him over.
He can't run. Okay, so this is out of character game knowledge. We're currently in, I think they're called taints. I think this counts as a taint.
It does.
In Princess, it's like some weird like fast food area taint because a cat factoid was created in a freezer. It's a whole thing. Caleb's in the group. Caleb is a seeker and has the vice curious, which boils down to he couldn't leave if he wanted to. Because he has to know what this place is like. Also, I don't think I can leave because this place is a goddamn maze.
Yeah, you walked into the monster's den. Good luck. If the defense can find no fault with this testimony, I'm ready to make the ruling. Judge, you need to stop doing that. You need to stop. Please keep in mind that in mind as you cross-examine Mr. Wright. I swear this man. He is the source of, like, I think most of Wright's anxiety at this point. Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn our logic upside down. Again. As I do every time. You know, this would be a lot easier to do without a concussion. But I mean, she tells us why for that one with the button and everything. Do we need to press here, or do we press when she talks about the button?
I think we. I currently have the Mage 20 book. I'm trying to read through it, and it's hard too because I'm also reading. So there's points where if I get distracted, I'm just trying to remember shit. I believe it's the button.
You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage.
You're a clever camouflage.
Edgeworth, not now.
And what about the button?
The button?
Clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought. And during the fight, that blocks that, the killer ripped the button from the Jammy Ninja costume.
You're talking about this button, correct?
To me, it still looks like a mask.
I know. It's because it's a gigantic button. It's not small.
Button's found in the pleats of Matt's Hakama. Isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence. That's you.
Yeah, it looks like you're outfoxed again, Mr. Wright. I'm thinking here because there is an issue with this that strikes me as very odd. You know?
I might. Would you like to explain to class?
Okay, so the knife and the button are odd in this scenario. She is saying that she recognized that Matt killed Juan based on the knife that was in his chest and the button missing from his costume. The reason that that's odd to me is that implies that she saw the button in Matt's costume and knew that knife belonged to Matt. We know that knife has Matt's fingerprints on it. How does she know that? Because remember, that was a point of contention, that the knife was not taken from the room Juan was found in. we got into a whole fight with, I think, Von Karma over that. Oh, wait. No, we did not get into a fight with Von Karma. Von Karma got shot before that. I forgot about that. But you understand what I'm saying, right?
I think I do.
The whole thing that I'm having a problem with here is, like, if she was just looking at the corpse and she didn't know where those objects came from or went, why would she know that the button is in Matt's outfit? Why would she know that the knife had Matt's fingerprints on it? The knife is not Matt's personal knife. It's a knife belonging to the hotel.
Unless... That is strange, isn't it?
Yeah. The only way that she would know is if she put the knife there in the first place and she put the button in his costume. She was the one who woke him up. She may not have committed the murder, but she sure as shit framed Matt for what happened. Which would be really weird, given what we know. Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony.
I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat.
How many times have I heard that before? Thank goodness me, can still look at me.
Then she stare, yes.
Hey, that's an internal monologue.
If it's in blue, you can't react to it. We have rules here.
I like that she keeps calling him out on the internal monologue shit. Like, every so often that happens to Wright is actually kind of funny. It's just like, hey, that was internal, that wasn't external.
I mean, she isn't a member of... She doesn't have, like, channeling powers. So for all we know, she's a mage.
True.
Isn't there, like, a mind spell that allows you to read people's minds?
Yeah, there is. I haven't seen it used too often in, like, snap scenarios like this, though. It's a little bit tricky to work with.
Well, if she's dead, she might just have it constantly on, because she's channeled spirit.
True.
We'll find some way to make this work in our Bizarre canon.
I mean,
Anyone
ghost
can
possession is a common thing, and I guess, yeah, mages can become ghosts. Doesn't happen all the time, but you can trap a mage's soul, so that is a thing you can do. It's a terrible thing to do to a mage, but it is a thing you can do.
We know that's horseshit.
Yeah, we know that. This is the victim's autopsy report. The clue states the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf.
Strangulation?
The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died. And what does that mean? Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off of the costume. When?
After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Bodies can still bleed after they're already dead. I thought blood sort of stopped flowing.
So, okay, really quick. This is a case of rigor mortis. Rigor mortis has multiple stages. Blood can still flow after a body has been dead. It's a liquid, for a while at least. In fact, this is a major thing for hunting. Something that you want to do when you hunt is, and this is not portrayed often in video games because it can be incredibly annoying to deal with.
Oh,
you need to properly drain the blood from a carcass. after it's died.
That has come up a couple of times. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. So, as part of rigor mortis, the blood will eventually coagulate within the body, but it takes a while to do that. So, yeah, you can get bodies that bleed afterwards. Some games actually do show, like, if you slash a monster's body or the like. I think I've played a couple of games like that recently. There will be cut marks that show up and they'll bleed on the target as part of like a kind of a little bit of a realism thing. I personally find it kind of neat because it's just like, ooh, I can mess around with the body afterwards. That's a nice touch. Which leads to some chaos and hijinks usually. Exactly, which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle. Because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There was no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. I would point out as well, like, based on what we're seeing here, regardless of if she is the killer, this would get Matt pretty much off. This button was consciously pulled off of the victim's already dead body. Order! What does the meaning?
What does the meaning of this, right?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
I'm faster.
No, you're not. I started first.
I'm faster. So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died?
Objection.
I'm louder.
Eject.
What does that change?
Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve?
What purpose?
We now know this button was not torn off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it? Mr. Rice, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it? Yeah, depend crime on guard. Like, dear God, we've been talking about this.
I'm not listening.
Oh my God.
You need to say it for the court typing person.
she just went over like, nope, I've already got it. It's already in here. It's obvious to me too. Frankly, I don't know how I work with you idiots.
We haven't touched Genius. Maybe she's a genius and just works here. A genius whose stealth is yes. I don't think we have done Genius. I don't actually think that joke will work.
I don't think we have done. We have not done anything with Genius. I think because it is a little tricky of a system to work with. Not that it's a bad system; it's just tricky.
I think we had an NPC that was a genius, and that's the extent of it.
I think maybe. I honestly don't remember. It was to pin the crime on Mr. On Guard. There's no way anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. On Guard was set up. By the real killer, of course. And the real murderer is... Well, Mr. Wright? Who in the world is the real killer, then? Finally. Can't believe we managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point.
Thanks, you can't let your guard down yet, not until the very end.
The real killer who planned... Yeah, fuck. I'm too sober for this. I'm tired, Mr. Wright.
Take that!
Miss Adrian Andrews. I admit, I just had the funny moment of like, it would have been really funny if there was a secret thing for picking the judge again. And he just like fully believed it.
Oh, the killer is me!
It would honestly be really funny, don't you think?
Probably not the judge. Probably in like an investigation scene, you can bring something like that up, and that would be hilarious.
Actually, you know what would be really funny now that I think about it? Of who that would be perfect for?
What?
Gumshoe.
What? No, pal! You don't I could totally no. It's just, and that's all the dialogue it is before he like realizes you're making fun of him or something.
It would honestly be really funny if that was a thing you could do.
You're the killer. No, I couldn't.
I couldn't. Could I? There have been some late nights I've blacked out.
I thought it was just from hunger.
I thought it was from getting whipped.
And hunger. I have
Little column A,
days,
little column B.
Mr. Right. And I haven't eaten in days.
Oh, that would be so funny. Gumshoe going through depression has been one of the like weirdest, legitimately sad things I've seen in this game so far. You are Mr. Karina's killer.
This is Pokemon now. That is foreshadowing.
Order! Mr. Wright. This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge? Any evidence? It would be really funny if he was like, I needed evidence for that?
Andrews does it all the time.
All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews.
How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me.
I can't I? Would you care to test me?
I have a staple gun right here.
Phoenix, not that type of testing. Oh.
What about this?
Not that type of kidding. The knife was used to stab the victim after the already been screamed to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, naturally. The knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. Then the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you. Your glasses just go flying?
Yeah, I think that's her damage animation. But then, what about the button that was found in Matt's robe? Just find Matt's robe.
His pants! Just say his pants! This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was a real killer, there is no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. Oh, they shatter! They don't go flying, they full on break, and she's just pulling out new sets. I feel like the court just has to pause for a moment and just be like, man, does this happen to you often?
They're over the counter.
Over the counter?
You know, like reading glasses you can buy.
Sure, but do you have them in bulk?
I'm gonna unlock the garage before I forget.
Sure thing.
Because
my
mom said she's gonna work late, but I just heard like the one of the Alexa alarms sound about something and realized I haven't unlocked the garage yet. I should do that.
Yeah, do it. Nem is here. However, his headset is disconnected. Because of course it did. Of course it wants to screw him over right now. Alright, he's gotta save really quick. He needs to basically reconnect the headset and everything, and that requires disconnecting the box. So the game's gonna shut off for a quick second here. Sorry about that, folks. Technical issue. Oh dear. Oh no.
There he goes.
Nice.
Yeah, here's what happened. I went to open the garage door, and then Stormy ran in, so I was like, okay, I have to go and fix that. Grabbed her, dragged her back into the out of the garage, and as soon as I got to basically my bedroom door, I hear the Badoo. I was like, oh, we got disconnected.
Yeah, it's always fun, isn't it?
Also, I left my timer running, so I'm trying to figure out how much time I had left. And now Mom's on her way home, so I'm gonna go unlock it now. Yay, thank. You know what, I'm gonna leave the mic on for a bit because now I'm worried.
Fair idea. We'll see what happens.
But yeah, normally when I try to yank out my headset to plug in case of resetting, it would bang into the very delicate cable that connects to my box. That's basically my external hard drive, and will disconnect everything. That's happened with like things that just fall on the wire pile too. So it's never been fun for me. I've also had a disconnect from my mouse nudging into the wire pile, and if I detangle the wire power, it doesn't work. So all sorts of fun times are had by all. Anyways, garage is open. Gonna head back to the room and hopefully it won't disconnect on me again.
Badoo. I hope it didn't actually do that.
It didn't actually do that, thank God.
Yeah. That was a joke. Don't actually do it, Ken. Don't actually do it. Headset. Don't actually do it.
to.
Oh yeah. Not bad. I moved it around a bit. The window. Lost track of it. The only person who could have put this button into Mr. Angar's Hakama is the person who went to wake him from his nap. Which is you yet again, Miss Andrews. I see. What about the empty guitar case? There's also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews.
Lesson learned, don't try to frame anyone under Phoenix Wright. Even if the person's guilty, he will find out.
Yeah. You're just looking at everybody that's framed people nearby Phoenix Wright. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was just such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. That person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews.
No, I...
Objection!
But Miss Adrian Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found in the guitar case. It was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time.
That's right. That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. Instead to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it.
Hard to hold a gun with a towel, but nothing but opening doors.
But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. To top it all off, there's this photo. The photo as they exited the scene of the crime. Where is no person on Earth can believe this nickel samurai is Mr. On Guard? He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not?
Please, stop.
Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time. Miss Andrews?
I refuse to testify.
What was that?
There's a law that says I cannot be forced to testify about something that can incriminate me.
Ma'am, you've already incriminated yourself with tampering with evidence at a crime scene. What are you talking about? Also, that law would not apply here.
Explain to the class.
Okay, so let's say that this is the case. You cannot be forced to testify about something, right? This only really works in terms of protection. So Bill Cosby's actually a pretty good example of this. Bill Cosby was arrested and tried based on things he said in the courtroom. However, prior to that, he he got a deal with the prosecution of that case to agree to testify, in return for not being arrested for things that he says on the stand. Because of that, he was able to speak freely on the stand, and he gave evidence and stuff like that in a different court case. When they arrested him later on, it was deemed a mistrial because of that deal. So you can say things on the stand that incriminate you, but there are different measures to protect you from things that you say on the stand and to ensure that you do not bring harm to yourself. That is if you are a witness. When you become a suspect, things are different. In this case, her testimony would be somewhat required, or at the very least, because she has already agreed to stand up and give testimony, she can't just take that back because she's about to say something incriminating, or because she has given evidence that may incriminate herself already. You can't just claw that back like this. That's the issue that's at stand here. She's refusing to give her height as well, which is probably something that can be looked up. It doesn't matter if she's willing to testify about it or not. As well, this is something with the Fifth Amendment, where the right to remain silent and all that sort of stuff. Depending on the court case, the judge can give the jury instructions to treat the lack of a response as incriminating. That is something that can happen. I know it happens in civil trials. That was a big thing somewhat recently in one civil trial, but I don't know about criminal trials. I think that there might be a difference there that you can't do that. I'm not an expert on it, but I do know that this, at least to me, there's a number of ways that the judge and prosecutor and defense attorney can get around this problem.
Fact, not lawyers.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? Really good example. There was a court case recently where the sheriff was deemed guilty of killing a few people in, I can't remember what state. He testified. He went up and testified. And he shouldn't have done it. Because his testimony was basically, yeah, I lied about some things, but you should believe me on this. Which ruined all credibility. So, like, yes, it's true that you can't be forced to testify about something if it would incriminate you. There is protections against that. You were already on the stand, though. That is something that is set up prior, and it's something that you would discuss with the prosecutor who is bringing you in prior to the court case. This would be all kinds of different problems. Like, perjury, for instance, would be something they could easily get her on already. So, sure.
Except
you don't
perjury
testify
doesn't
about your
exist
height.
in Ace Attorney.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
a lot of
perjury
heart would
doesn't
be in
exist.
jail.
The lying to law enforcement would be one. Like multiple different crimes that she has committed and has admitted to over the course of this one testimony, you could easily hit her with. And then refusing to talk about your height is just, it doesn't look good. Once you're on the witness stand, what you do and don't answer affects how the jury and the judge view you. So this was a major misstep on her part. This is like grasping at straws to try to get out of the situation. Well, yes.
I wonder what that was in Japan, because I'm not sure if Japan has that law.
I'm not sure either. I think that they might have something similar. I don't recall, though. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination.
It's called not doing a crime. Guilty.
By allowing witnesses to not testify, the testimony can cause damage to themselves. What? Yeah, we've never used that here before. That's actually kind of funny now that I think about it, that nobody else has actually used this defense so far. I'm kind of curious to see what the full response is. Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Yeah. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. Unguard's room.
This is a flashback, so I'm not voicing.
Oh, well, Karma's influence strikes again.
On Karma, Karma attacking anyone with a pulse.
Yeah, I know. That's it. That's when Franziska planted this idea into her head. Oh, wow, hi. How's it going? She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things look bad.
You did a good job of proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. Still one thing you haven't done.
Something you haven't done?
Stabbed her. Gave this advice minutes ago.
Yeah. Stop. Put the knife down. I'm not about to get Pearls in trouble for stabbing someone.
What's wrong, right? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? Haven't stabbed the witness yet?
You too?
Mr. Wright, I've noticed you haven't stabbed the witness. Are you doing a challenge run?
Edgeworth, are you alright? We don't normally stab the witness.
I'm the judge speaking.
Don't what?
Can you tell from my booming voice and the amounts of alcohol in front of me?
I mean, I explained.
And then there's like a scrub fade out, and there's just like Phoenix staring blankly in frustration.
Yeah. He's got that like annoyed look on his face whenever somebody like just gives an objection that he really doesn't like. What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless.
Is this a motivation thing again?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I swear to God, Edgeworth, if you bring up motive, I will smack you down with facts and logic, you asshole. Thing that you're usually so good at. And again, you are working off of Franziska's case, so I guess, you know what? I can't really expect you to have all the facts.
Everything you have proven is circumstantial.
Circumstantial.
Yes, circumstantial. I've yet to provide a single piece of definite proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor wish to murder Miss Cordia. The victim.
I'm sure there's a rolling of the R. I just can't do it.
Yeah, same.
Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corida? Oh boy.
I believe this might lead me to incriminating myself, so we're staying from answering.
But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think?
Maybe so, or maybe not. There's nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence. Framing someone. Perjury. Messing with evidence.
No, she's taking that defiant attitude again. But Mia, what should we do? We have the evidence.
Somehow we land in the worst possible situation.
Oh my god. Has everybody here forgotten that we have the evidence? Phoenix, this is your memory speaking. I know you have objects permanence. You know you have the bit that you need. Edgeworth gave it to you. You dense fuck. I think we've reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify. Okay. I will also say, even if we don't definitively prove that she's the killer, we have proven that it probably wasn't Matt. The crime scene was tampered with again. Defense's theory that she's actually the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid, definitive proof. That's not true. Yeah, I'm with Phoenix on this one. We put so much evidence in front of you. What are you on about? In this situation, there's only one thing this court can do. No, there's two things. Oh, okay. Never mind. I suppose that's okay. That's to declare recess. Recess. I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter. All right. And at tomorrow's trial, tomorrow.
It'll be more panicking, I think.
Yeah. We don't have it tomorrow. We don't have a not guilty verdict today. Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. It isn't. Phoenix, you have the thingy. You've got the thing. The trial. Please continue with the trial.
What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he?
That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, I am. But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. No, this court is...
Objection!
Oh. Edgeworth? Friend!
It's not impossible for this trial to continue.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you...
Who, Miss Andrews, holds the right against self-incrimination. Incrimination. However, top of a conversation for something to relate to whatever she might be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony.
Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about. I think that is actually a thing. I just don't recall if it's, like, ever really discussed or not. I need to actually look that up to make sure I'm not, like, saying something out of my ass again. Anyways. Yes, that is very true, but... Go ahead.
Actually, there's one little thing I'm curious about. Miss Andrews, when you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and I can't help but think that's how unnatural that is. Usually one finds a body, they're shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice. So my actions were unusual, but I already... Before you speak, I want to state that you have a reason behind your actions. I would like you to testify to that effect.
Oh.
Testify? Your Honor, I would like to request the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. I find out in this testimony should be no way implicate... Whatever we find out in this testimony should no way implicate the victim. I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. I kept accidentally saying, could not implicate the victim, and I kept having to catch myself. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know.
think I get why Mead is like a little bit thrown off because she's so used to Edgeworth being on the opposing side. Like during the first, like the couple of court cases we had him in before he left due to what happened with the Von Karma case, like he was very much antagonistic.
To be fair, he had Von Karma breathing the first one breathing down his neck.
Not only that, but I think like also he had Von Karma's influence kind of drilled into him.
Want to know what eventually hilarious?
What?
Every court case, every game had another member of the Von Karma family somehow being the prosecutor.
That would be kind of funny. The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please.
Black glass of juice. I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked in the room and saw him in that messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something. So I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flyer face over. With and Bresh just isn't right. Yeah, she's reading off a chatter.
Oh, what did they say?
No. She is 13, I believe. It says Pearl within breast just isn't right. Like, yeah, that's a 6-year-old. She probably also shouldn't be at that height.
Yeah, I get that they're like saying that when she gets possessed, her body changes, but still, that there's just like. There's so much wrong there.
The fake lamb have multiple bodies, and that's not a good thing.
No. Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony?
I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Phoenix, be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left.
I know. What the heck is going on in that brain of yours? Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. And as usual, this is where everything will go wrong for the defendant. I am prepared to give a guilty verdict once again to the witness.
Gaining legs. Do you mind if I just speed through it?
Yeah, I'm also just trying to figure out like what. Oh, we're at the photo, right? So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him?
No, not at all.
Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body? Oh, right! The knife! Yeah, that's kind of... Oh, man, he's just a little tired. I also get a little tired when I'm a bit anemic.
You get tired, I get thirsty. You know? It's the lack of fluid in my body that makes me crave water.
You know, I didn't even think about that for a second. I'm just like, ma'am, there was a knife in his chest.
There's something wrong with this creature. Thinks about it. I can't put my finger on it. Thinks about me. While the in question is missing its torso.
What are you talking about? That's just Dave on a Tuesday. What is the meaning of this?
I know it's because it's late, it honestly might have slipped your mind, but I feel like I should force you through more mysteries.
Isn't it obvious, you are? There was a knife sticking out of Mr. Kurita's chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that there was a dead man.
Well, you see,
And not a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted.
we know that she's framing Matt. Could you imagine if one Kurita was in fact unconscious and she thought he was dead?
You mean, yeah, it's just... Oh, God.
I think that happened in, I've read so many goddamn mysteries, can't remember exactly, but I think that happened in one case where the person thought they were dead, tried to frame someone else, and accidentally committed the murder.
Yeah, I think that has happened at least once or twice. Then not so nonchalantly go pour something to drink. Your point is, Miss Andrews, your testimony just now was all one giant lie. Your lies proved one thing very clear. You are the real killer.
No!
Yeah, it's that discrepancy that's just like, ma'am, if you have two arguments here. Either you framed him or you killed him. Good luck. Looks like the defense says someone brought the truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matt on God, is not guilty after all.
That's impossible. You're wrong.
Miss Andrews, try to have some composure.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt. I swear it. He's the one who killed Juan.
But you were the one who refused to testify. And your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself.
Didn't something like this happen with, Damon Gantz?
Yeah, something similar did happen. Damon refused to testify about certain things because they were not important to the trial. Until Damon himself proved that they were important to the trial. That's why he was like talking about Phoenix Wright withholding evidence, and Phoenix was like, well, I didn't have permission to say this, but then you brought it forward. This has actually happened in a couple of court cases. It happened, I think, actually in the court case involving Donald Trump, rather recently, where
Don't call that a trial. There was no conviction.
No. This is a different one. This is him being convicted, or like him having to pay money for the things he said about somebody that accused him of raping them. The lawyer was like threw up an objection about something, and then later on, that very same lawyer brought up something related to that original objection that made it relevant to the court case, overturning his own objection. It was incredible to hear that happen, of just like, you didn't want this coming up, and then you brought it up yourself.
There's an order to my failures.
Like, it was just insane to see that happen, of just like, how did it loop back around like this? So like, this kind of thing, it feels odd in the game, but at the same time, it's happened in real life multiple times, which is kind of crazy. Not even like the, 2 nickels crazy, like more than 2 nickels. Like, that's the thing that gets me about this court case. It's like, it seems out there of just like, oh man, somebody accidentally brought something up that then brought up another thing. No, that happens. That happens. People self-incriminate all the time. This is why when your lawyer says don't testify, you listen.
That's why the trope "fool for a lawyer" basically means someone's being their lawyer. You don't do that. That doesn't end well. You have to be a very good lawyer, and even then, I wouldn't recommend doing it.
Yeah, and there's plenty of court cases.
Sorry,
like the fool for a client. There's plenty of court cases where lawyers are like have a plan in mind. They want to keep somebody from accidentally doing something, and then the client just does it anyways. There are some people that you just have real trouble being a lawyer for. That just happens. You do not always get to pick what your client does. Your client has their own beliefs, thoughts, and ideas, and they will act on them. You can prepare as best you can, but sometimes they will ruin their own case. I think, like, it was a pretty funny one a while back. I'm getting off topic. Go ahead and hit the button.
that's because
Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you?
I refuse to testify. Well, then we're going to our original argument.
Yeah, exactly. There's no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Matt on God's innocence has been clearly demonstrated. Is it over? Why do I feel like Edgeworth is about to come in with a steel chair?
That's what he's been doing.
I know, I feel it in my bones. I feel like this is usually where the objection kicks in. I would be looking over at Edgeworth, just slowly shaking my head like, don't you dare. Don't do it. I know you want to do it. Oh. Go ahead and continue the text. Have we found the truth at last?
This is really into one of my favorite sort of landlines. What's wrong, Phoenix?
Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't.
There are two plot twists in this case I really love. This is plot twist 1.
Right. That she isn't actually the killer, is she?
No.
She framed Matt, but that's about it. Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt on God. There it is. I knew it was coming.
Your Honor, prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time.
God damn it. Can never be easy, can it?
Nope. If it was easy, we wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, you got a good point.
The reason was quite simple. The witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth.
The absolute real truth? What do you... I didn't say anything there, that was you.
Huh? I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matt Engard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party. Is it my sister? She's an idiot.
Yeah, she is an idiot. She created this whole scenario, essentially. She made things more complicated than they needed to be. A little too focused on proving Phoenix wrong, I think.
Yeah.
Girl, you're chasing the white whale, and you know what happens when you chase the white whale? You die.
Become a crazed old man chasing. And have your story narrated by a sailor who won't give his actual name, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
It's been a lot to read Moby Dick, but I'm pretty sure Ishmael's supposed to be an unreliable narrator who hasn't even given you. Call me Ishmael. Pretty sure that's not your name.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
What? I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty.
What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it? I think at this point, Phoenix is thinking back to Francesca. Oh, gosh.
And speak about it. I'm too scared. It's Franziska von Karma. It's always Franziska von Karma.
Yeah. Hey, Edgeworth, your sister sucks.
I know. That's not news.
Your sister caused this entire situation. I hope you understand that. Huh?
Don't you remember Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly on the words of another. Because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself.
And right now, Miss Andrews is...
Yesterday, she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, Matt and Guard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undoubtedly believes those words right now and is clinging on to them.
And what should we do? I swear, Von Karma makes things more complicated than they need to be. Oh boy. Also, you know what the worst part about this is?
What?
That's witness tampering. That's the thing that her father got in a lot of trouble for.
Oh, yeah.
That's, that is, removal of lawyer license worthy. That's, never gonna perform law again. This is the first time I've ever come across something like, no, it's not Phoenix. Phoenix, we've done this before. You've dealt with Von Karma.
To be fair, he's been through a lot.
True. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? This isn't even the case of him, like, thinking in terms of Maya. This is just him being like, she's suspicious as all fuck. It's gotta be her. You know, is get her not guilty. That's my only priority.
It wasn't me, I'm begging you. Please believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Oh, please, someone help me.
Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. The court can't continue on like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do. I intend to do. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say?
Right, I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. Think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime.
Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? No, it's not. What we've proven is that she fabricated evidence. We did not prove that she strangled him. There was no one else it could be except the woman crying over there. Right?
Up now! What will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It doesn't matter, I'm letting you choose.
Force her to testify. That's what a complete acquittal today. There's no way around that. But can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's making a face like that. Miss Andrews. I would like to know what you are really hiding. Mr. Wright, I'm sure you know what you're doing. I'm sticking with my integrity. Yeah. Also, as an aside here, if we did force a not guilty verdict here, we technically would not be getting what the killer wants. He wants an acquittal on all charges. We haven't actually proven that Matt had nothing to do with it. Matt can theoretically get other charges thrown at him right now. We need to prove who the actual killer is. Sure, Mr. Ungar would get an acquittal, but in his place, you would be found guilty. Go ahead, continue on. Is this how you really want this trial to end?
What? How dare you? You're trying to trick me!
That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense's theory is the truth.
You're wrong. What a shame. I have hoped things wouldn't come to this, however.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court. Stop.
Mr. Edgeworth! Had to load the screen shade.
This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. What? And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past. Stop! Please stop! No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have evidence right here.
That's the second part of the suicide report. The attempted suicide report.
What do we do now, witness? You know what I'm about to do, don't you? Man, Edward's being sneaky.
I mean, I entirely understand what he's doing here, and while it is very harsh, the consequences for him not doing this would be far worse. So what Edgeworth is doing here is he's implying an insanity plea. And, a lot of lawyers have actually said that's a terrible thing to go for. Insanity plea is a terribly horrific thing to try to go through just to get out of something. There's a reason people don't try to go for it. It is not good. It opens your life up so much more than just a simple murder case would. A lot of things become under scrutiny. So this would put everything into the spotlight about her. It is terrifying. Because they have to make absolutely certain that you're insane, right? So part of that is really doing a deep dive into who you are as a person. So,
It's really
I understand what
hard
he's doing.
It's really hard to get your life once you believe that.
Yes, it really is hard to keep your life intact after that point. Go ahead and hit it.
Well, now we're viewed to the courts. True nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews.
Secret of her dependent nature.
I had to crack my knuckles and it hurt a bit.
Don't injure yourself.
Well, you know when you crack your knuckles and it, like, there's like a pull there? That's what I did, and then when I lit it too far, my hands were like, no, don't do that.
Oh, yeah, I understand entirely.
Incorrect bang noise.
Yeah. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world.
Please stop, I beg you. People find out. People find out. Ow. You're going to say you would choose death. That is of no concern to me.
Edgeworth, how can you be so cold?
Like this, I'm doing it right now. That is an honest on both of our us responses is. How could you be so cold? I'm doing it.
I am actively doing it right now.
What's so hard for you to understand? But before you die, pull the truth out from your still breathing lips.
You good?
Yeah, yawning.
Ah.
No matter what I have to do.
Meanwhile, my dog in the background is like throwing my cushions all over this thing. Brother, what are you up to? Oh, God. The layout of this bed displeases me. I must move the blanket.
So will you tell the court yourself or shall I? Either is fine with me. I'll talk, but please help me. Nothing matters anymore.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. The quotation marks are not required. That is actually what happened. She did commit a crime. However, let's continue.
When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted. Honest. When I realized he was dead, that's when I formulated my plan. Once made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash to Matt's room. And then I stabbed Juan dead spot with a knife ripped off the bone. Just when I finished, on a certain Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume.
Wake up.
I'm up. I'm awake, I'm just yawning.
So she's saying that she had an inconvenience at that moment. I see.
That convenience has a lot of hair and a southern accent, and I hate her.
Mm-hmm. She causes so many problems. Stab the body with the knife? But why would you do that?
Isn't it obvious? Put the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man.
What? What do you mean by all of this?
I'm not cowardly, I'm the judge!
Judge, she's not framing you. What are you...
Well, I'm certainly a man.
I am also a man.
Oh, she's framing
So
you
is
then.
Ed.
Okay then.
No.
Might take this court a while to understand, but this is the truth. The real killer is Matt. That scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time.
Last time.
So Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Corrida, in the chest with a knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt and God for the murder. And this is her crime.
What? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer? Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination. Phoenix, get it together.
This is just press everything.
Okay. Like, we're trying to get more information out of her, basically. Well, you could tell from the state that the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say that you did not know he was dead?
He had a scarf tied around his neck. That scarf is part of the Jammy Ninja costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up, and went to pour him the juice.
What is this plan you had?
I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because, one, he was going to expose Matt's weak point to the world. That's a little bit weak in wording there, writers.
Yeah, I think I get what they're going for, but it's a bit of a funky wording. I don't think that's right.
So Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's when I thought, I should forge some evidence and pin the crime on Matt. It's a bored piece of evidence with a knife and a button.
There you go.
Ugh. I don't even feel tired, I'm just yawning.
I know.
First thing that came to mind was to plant the knife.
That was so you could get the knife, correct?
The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was snapping in his costume at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime.
So you were the one to stab the victim with that knife.
Gives me goosebumps even think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. When I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. I used the button somehow to make Matt look even more suspect. So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and plant it in Mr. Ungar's pants. Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they?
An inconvenience. Something stuck in my throat.
There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway.
I'm willing to bet my spikes. It was Lana.
That'll make everything worse!
It wasn't just her is the thing. It was both of them. Those two made everything worse. Oh my god. Like, they actually, unironically, helped her frame Matt. That's the thing. I don't even...
There's also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth.
It's Ms. Oldback for you.
I would have been caught and made it into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once, so I couldn't very well go out for myself and get caught again. You're the one who prepared that costume, weren't you? Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it in Juan's card case just the day before the award ceremony. You did some preparation for the press conference, correct? Yes, Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there.
And what is the secret?
That I don't know. Anyways, I thought that I could just leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume. Then perhaps people think that Matt was the real murderer. Very careful not to leave any fingerprints on the guitar case. So, absolutely did not want I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume.
Did you just stumble over absolutely?
Yes. I'm not proud of it, but I did.
Man, you know what's funny about that?
Why?
You absolutely flubbed absolutely. My dog had a cough. I had to wait for him to finish. I don't think you wanted that on stream.
No, that's fair.
He does that thing where he needs to clear his throat, and unlike humans, he doesn't have a good way to do that, so he makes a lot of noise. So after that, you went back to Mr. On Guard's room and planted the button?
Into Matt's pants? Yes. After that, I folded up the costume he was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I stuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it.
My word! What does all this mean?
Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt on guard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor set me down for a talk.
Francisca, you made things so much worse. Francisca, huh?
I also make everything worse, Mr. White.
Judge, I have like a list of people you could throw in jail. If I give that to you after this, could you take care of that for us?
No. We don't have a jail anymore. We just have the Blue Badger. Some areas have a jail. Currently, it is the Blue Badger.
No, that's not the problem. I'm not contemplating whether or not I should hand it.
He said under no circumstances I confessed to what I had done. I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure.
Yeah, see, this right here is why I was quiet for a second. I was contemplating whether or not the Blue Badger was a good enough punishment for these people.
I had no choice but to believe in her words.
What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as the testimony stands, we can be certain she is not the real killer. Wait, Your Honor. Objection! Defense still...
Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything.
Yes, exactly. Technically, they're right. They would, I think, need a separate trial for her crime of evidence tampering. I do believe that's how that would work, because she definitely did do something that is criminal. However, that crime would need a separate analysis of why it was done and a lot of other things. To determine the amount of punishment that would be appropriate. She probably will receive some jail time. I don't know what the average is for that, actually. I don't think that's ever really come up before for me. Not that I am a lawyer or anything involved with law enforcement, it's more just like, that is not something I have looked up before. The reason I say is that usually when people get charged with evidence tampering, it's also with the crime that they committed. So that is usually when that comes up.
Not in Phoenix, right? Otherwise, a lot of people would, not be met again.
Yeah, true.
I made things worse, but I'm still allowed to be on the streets.
I'm pretty sure you have a warrant out for your arrest.
No, I don't. They keep saying, are you the president? I just lie and say I'm not.
Oh, no. There's a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. Your cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright. Mr. Andrews, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning.
Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately.
That is all. Court is adjourned for the day. Oh, that is a extra, rough one.
Oh, he does have a chair occasionally not there.
Today's trial. It's over. I didn't win an acquittal.
Witness, would you mind if I ask you something?
Edgeworth?
What is it? Before you leave court today, I wonder if I might look at that one thing. That card in your hand. I've had my interest for quite some time now.
Sure, she has been showing that to the entire courtroom.
What exactly is it? Oh, this? Mr. White also asked about this. I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it. Although I didn't remember the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember it just now. I found it in the room on that day.
In the room?
That day? Yes.
Oh, it's there. It's next to the cup. You can see it in the image. I didn't notice that before.
I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there right next to him.
You found that card next to the victim's body?
Suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. That's not if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right?
Yeah, I guess not. But it's still a strange card, if you ask me. Has nobody here heard of calling cards? As far as a clue to this case, I don't see why.
Hold it! Witness! That card! Give it to me! Hurry!
Edgeworth?
Do you have any idea what you stupid lady had inadvertently done? This. I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. I didn't mean to.
There's definitely moments where I kind of want to give this girl a hug, because god damn, she is broken.
What is this all about?
I've never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. That card. What in the world is it? What does it mean? You know what would have been a very hilarious twist?
What?
Is that card was the card that Edgeworth left behind to tell people that he was going on vacation. It's just like that's all it is. He's just like, no wonder you thought I was dead.
That's gonna be it for us today, because that was 3 hours of a loss. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys Monday, not Monday, Tuesday for whatever is left of Atomic Heart, the Atomic Heart DLC. I decided I'll put Atomic Heart on pause until it's revealed that all the DLC has come out, and then I will play. Then I'll play the last of the DLC, or depending on what that is, and then redo Game New Plus to play the first DLC that I think takes place in the bad ending. I'm 30% sure because the DLC in the third DLC makes mention of like an alternate timeline, and that's
Oh, I
where
see.
it's featured in. So
Okay. That would make sense then, yeah.
which was very confusing when you just stumble upon like what it is what. And
They really
then
case. What the fuck is this talking about?
afterwards I'll play more Yakuza. I have I'm thinking about going back to some games that have received massive updates, and or otherwise I did on early in my streaming career, I guess is the word I should be looking for. That I played on
Yep.
an easier setting that should probably play in a harder setting just to prove that I can do it. So by which I mean I've gotten back into I got in the urge to play Bioshock again, and now it's going to make it everyone else's problem. So that's what I'm going to do until I find something else to play to stream with. So yeah, that's pretty much my schedule for how long. You?
I'm probably gonna skip over Wednesday because something is going on for me that day. But I'll probably do something on Friday. I still need to figure out what I want to play on that day.
Is it personal what's happening on Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So hope you guys stay safe. Hope you guys enjoy the stream. Hopefully I'll see you then.
See you all next time.